Hello and welcome. Today we're going to do another Ask Kevin Anything. So stick around, have a seat, enjoy. Our first question today is from Jay, and he asks, DCompose, will you ever have a video where you show all the toys that you have? Probably not. I'd rather just tease around a little bit than actually show everything that I have. Plus they take just too much of a video. A video would just be too big. Question from Miguel Rizzo, and he asks, I see you use your books as visual aids, and was wondering if you collect all the Amazing Spider-Man issues since it began in the 1960s. Do you only make Spider-Man videos, or have you thought of teaching on other characters? And keep up the good work. Well, thanks, Miguel. As to the question of teaching other classes, yes, we are starting some X-Men classes, and as you probably already seen by a teaser trailer, Gambit 101 will be the first class. We'll probably go into other different comic books as well. As for collecting the Spider-Man comics, I haven't been collecting them since the 60s because, well, I'm actually a product of the 70s. But I have been collecting them for a pretty long time now. Another question here is from Blue Eyes 33, and he asks, what are your thoughts on this Avengers Transformers crossover? Well, my thoughts are it could be awesome because naturally it combines the two things that I love the most, Transformers and Spider-Man. So if they do it right, it'll be good. If they do it bad, it'll suck. That's kind of the way it goes. I guess it's going to depend on the writing and on the art on this thing. I really don't know if it's going to be good or not. We'll have to see. I'm crossing my fingers, and I hope it's going to be good. Another question is from Billowix, and he asks, which origin of the symbiote do you think is best? The origin within Secret Wars, the television origin of the cartoon, or the origin of the suit being a cure for cancer from Ultimate Spider-Man? Naturally, I'm a purist, so I'm going to have to go with the Secret Wars origin. Although I do like the origin of the animated series. It was a real inventive way to bring the suit back down to Earth and not involve the whole Secret Wars storyline. So I'm going to say that I like better the comic book version of it, the Amazing Spider-Man version of it, because I'm an Amazing Spider-Man freak, but I'll have to say that the animated series will be a very close second. The whole cure for cancer thing, I don't really like that. I like the costume to have a alien origin, if you will. Question here from Nick, and he asks, when or if there is another Spider-Man movie, meaning Spider-Man 4, who do you think should be the villain or villains and why? Well, I mean, there's so many villains to choose from right now because there are still a lot of them that haven't been made. Naturally, I want to see the Lizard in this because we've been hinting for this guy for way too long. I mean, let Dr. Connors grow another arm. Like, what's wrong with you guys, man? Let him grow an arm. That poor guy. He wants his arm back. Give him his arm. I know he turns into this odd creature lizard because of it, but who cares? Just give him back his arm. Guy deserves it. He's paid his dues in a movie. And another villain that I like to see, well, I kind of like to see, probably Mysterio would be nice. Kind of do some pretty funky visual effects with him, I think. He would be kind of neat to have. A lot of people are talking about Carnage because of the alien costume being in this one. Quite personally, I really don't care if Carnage should be in it or not. I mean, he's an alright character, but there's plenty more characters, I should say, in the past that do deserve the spotlight, if you will. So, I'm thinking, Lizard for sure. I could go with Mysterio. I'd also like to see maybe, if they do it well enough, Scorpion or something to that effect. But we'll see what happens. Another question here from WWE Spider. And he asks, thanks for the Sandman 101. You're welcome. What do you think about making Sandman kill Uncle Ben in the movie? Well, for those of you who haven't seen the spoiler yet, well, here it is. Uncle Ben will apparently be killed, or his real killer, we should say, will be Sandman in the movie. What do I think of this? It's not following continuity, but then again, most of the movies aren't following continuity anyway, so it doesn't really matter at that point. I suppose Peter's going to need some huge traumatic event, or something huge, to make the symbiote totally take over, and they can kind of go to the dark side, if you will. So having the real killer of Uncle Ben still loose would probably do it to him. Would probably push him over the edge and make him really vengeful. So I think it's a good angle in order to play the alien costume part of it. So I'm not really against it. I'll see how it plays out in the movie. I like to see Peter with all the rage and all that he had before while wearing that costume. So we'll have to see. Here's a question from Alexander Carnario, and he actually made a little video question. Not a video question, but a video of this. And he wanted to address it, and so I'm going to answer his question. He says, "You probably will deny this, but I need help in clearing this one fact about the Spider-Man 3 movie. And you're such an expert at it. I have the movie description, and I show it as proof. In the comic books, Hobgoblin is this other guy. I forget his name. Well, Hobgoblin in the comic books, before we go any further, is, well, you can look at it two ways. Most people will tell you Roderick Kingsley, and there's still those diehard fans from the past that will say it's Ned Leeds. Either way, it's one or the other. We'll say Roderick Kingsley for now. But there's a lot of speculation on that. Now he asks, but in the movie, Harry is considered Hobgoblin. The suit doesn't matter. He's considered Hobgoblin in the movie. Here's the video proof. Can you please help me clear this fact with some Spider-Man fans? Or if you know where to get more proof, please help me out here. Your loving fan, Alexander." So Alexander has this, I don't know if you've seen his video or not, he has this, basically this piece of paper out of an article or scholastic books, if you will, talking about Spider-Man 3, and for the description of the book it says about Harry Osborn and the Hobgoblin and all this stuff. Rest assured, Harry Osborn is not the Hobgoblin. Maybe an Ultimate Spider-Man, but in this movie and in the comic books, Harry Osborn is not the Hobgoblin. The Hobgoblin is Roderick Kingsley or maybe Ned Leeds, but it is not Harry Osborn. Harry Osborn is the Green Goblin. The second Green Goblin. That's how he's always been in the comics, and that's how he died as the Green Goblin. Like I said, Ultimate Spider-Man, a little different. But in the comic books and the regular Spider universe, he is the Green Goblin and not the Hobgoblin. And any of the toys that are out right now, you look at him, it calls him actually New Goblin, because naturally Sony doesn't want to use another Green Goblin this early since they already used one in the first film. They don't want to overkill it. So what they're going to do is they're going to name him the New Goblin, or just, you know. But basically it's Harry on a surfboard that glides around is what it is. It's not the Hobgoblin.